Hey, my friends, welcome. All right, so today I want to give you 5 questions that are going to allow you to shift both your mindset and your identity um, out of scarcity and come into a place where you are embodying success. And essentially, these 5 questions are here to help you kind of like dial in where you need to focus your inner work so that you can accelerate your growth and success and calibrate your body and your identity to the outcome and the results you want. So the big idea behind this mini training is that what is already meant for you doesn't have to be earned. It gets to be received. For a lot of us, we are wired to believe that nothing is for us and we have to earn the right to everything. But the truth is, we have to shift from this energy of making it happen and having to prove ourselves worthy to embodying that I am already worthy. It is already mine, and I don't have to earn it or make it happen. I get to receive it. Unfortunately, our nervous system and our brain will never let us really outperform who we believe ourselves to be. So your nervous system, your brain will never let your reality be bigger than your core fears, than your core wounds, than your subconscious beliefs about yourself, about what is possible, and about business and growth. The level of contraction and expansion that is held in your nervous system essentially determines how much you have to do, how hard you have to work, um, and how much you allow yourself to receive. Your neurology, your brain, defines what you experience. It defines what you do. It defines what you have the capacity to claim and receive. And it defines what you have the capacity to hold. Because it's not just about receiving what we want, it's actually about being able to receive it in such a way that it's sustainable and we get to hold on to it. I have a ton of clients who will come work with me, not because they can't make money, but because whatever money comes in, automatically it slips away and there's nothing left. And they're always in this pattern of feast and famine, or they're always looking for the next client, looking for the next sale, and it doesn't matter how much they bring in. That is a nervous system wound. That is a body calibration issue. So your neurology, as well as your identity, literally defines the reality that you see and experience. It defines how you move through life and in your business. It defines the decision you're going to make, and it defines your relationship with money and your relationship with holding clients. If you desire more ease, more fulfillment, more agency, and more abundance essentially in your life, in your business, in your wealth, even more impact, then you have to rewire your nervous system, train your brain, recalibrate your body, and upgrade your energy and your identity to essentially feel deeply safe and worthy being, doing, and having more. And you have to do that just because. Like you literally rewire your entire being to believe that you are worthy of what you want just because you want to. I'm worthy because I exist. I'm worthy because I want to. I'm worthy because I decided that it is so. I'm worthy because I get to. I'm worthy because it's already mine. And that kind of certainty, that kind of trust, that kind of confidence literally starts to shift not only your biochemistry internally in terms of how you're going to feel and how you're going to relate to everything you're trying to create, but it's also going to start to shift how attractive, trustworthy, magnetic you feel and you seem to people around you. This isn't total woo, although you know me, I'm a spiritual nerd. I like myself some magic. It's actually neuroscience. It's biochemistry. It's somatic and neurogenic trauma work. Because everything that is in the way of what we want, everything that is in the way of us feeling capable, ready, worthy, able to have, to hold, to create, to receive, to sustain what we want. All of that is essentially some degree of trauma lodged in the body. So this training is about 5 questions that I'm going to give you that you can journal around, you can play with, so that you can start to see where you need some recalibration and reprogramming work, where you need to shift your perspective, where you need to embody a new reality so that you essentially uncap your income, your impact, what is possible for you. Now, before I give you, I should have done it right at the beginning, but I forgot. Before I give you these 5 questions, I'm going to briefly introduce myself in case you're new here. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Ilsa. Super excited to have you here. I'm a total spiritual nerd, and I have to sometimes play around between the neuroscience and the mystic in me. I'm a bookworm. I'm a dog mama. I'm a nature lover. I'm a total introvert. That's me kind of like in a nutshell. Professionally, for the last, I don't know, 22, 23 years at this point, I've worked as a psychotherapist, a healer, an expansion expert, and a strategist. I work mainly, although not always, but I work mainly with business owners, entrepreneurs, transformational leaders, essentially helping them rewire their nervous system, their brain, their body, their business for easeful growth, for consistent results, for deeply nourishing and exciting a new level of money and visibility. So to know more about the work I do, you can check the description of this training. You'll find a couple offerings in there to get you started. I think one of them is free and then the other are paid. All right. Oh, and the other thing I want to say is that I have open, I don't do that very often. Almost all the work I do includes a little bit of one-on-one work, but I have open 2 spots to work with me at a much more intimate, curated, custom level, if that's what you're looking for. So you can feel free to connect with me or book one of those initial sessions and then tell me after that what you're looking for is really to do deep one-on-one work with me, and I'll let you know what that looks like. All right, so let's get to these 5 questions. You essentially have to answer this question with an absolute yes to open a new revolutionary receiving reality for yourself. When you have a yes to all of these questions, then you know that something has shifted, something has embodied within you. And that's usually when I tell clients, okay, I don't know that there's a whole lot of stuff internally that's getting in your way. Let's look at your strategy. Let's look at your business model. Let's look at your messaging. And let's tweak all of these places because internally you're on point, you're in alignment, you're in resonance and coherence with the work that you're doing and the money you want to make. All right. So, by the way, if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to pause me after his question if you want to like journal right then and there. Question number 1 that you want to ask yourself is, am I the individual that deserves the results or the reality I desire? So what you want to do with this one is you want to think of your big goal that you're trying to create, or the big life that you're trying to create. And then you want to get quiet and ask this question, but ask it almost like you're dropping it in your solar plexus, in your heart, in your gut. Am I the person, the individual that deserves this reality? And notice if you feel a sense of aliveness, spaciousness, joy, calm, peace, like there's a sense of certainty. Fuck yes, I deserve this. Or is there a sense of contraction that shows up? And then journal. Like if you notice contraction, what is this contraction about? Like literally meet the contraction and ask it. What are you afraid of? What's in the way? Why don't I deserve this? And that's when the shame, the wound, the guilt, the sense of unworthiness, all of that will start to percolate up. And if you get a full yes, feel free to journal about that too. What does it feel like to be in absolute yes with deserving the reality that you want? So that's question number 1. Am I the individual that deserves the results or reality I desire? Question number 2. Am I the individual that feels ready and capable of going after and creating the results and the reality I desire? And do I feel ready and capable right now and exactly as I am? Meaning I don't have to change myself. I don't have to learn anymore. I am exactly who I am right now, is ready and capable of not only going after what I want, but actually creating the results and the reality I desire. So same thing. This is a little bit more mental. You might have less emotions around it, but you want to feel into whether every part of you feels ready, feels capable, or maybe parts of you feel like they're not ready, like they don't know how, like they won't be able to hold it, like they'll fuck it up in some ways. And so when you do start to feel these contractions come up, this doubt, then you want to meet them. You want to meet that. You want to figure out what exactly that is about. What does these parts of you need to feel ready, to feel capable, to feel supported in the process of going after what you want? So question 2, am I the individual that feels ready and capable of going after and creating the results, the reality I desire right now and exactly as I currently am? Question number 3, am I the individual that feels safe holding these results or that reality without overwhelm, collapse, or abandoning myself? This is another very internal question. You want to drop that in your heart, your solar plexus, your gut. You want to drop it in your soul. Do I feel safe with success? Do I feel like I will be able to hold it without sacrificing myself, my health, what matters most to me? So the question specifically is, am I the individual that feels safe holding, you could say feel safe creating and holding these results, that reality, without overwhelm, collapse, or abandoning myself? And again, this is a question that is very much related to self-trust. If parts of you do not trust you to honor yourself, no matter what, you will sabotage and block the results that you desire. So let's move on. Question number 4. Am I the individual that believes that everything is working for me and trust that life has my back every step of the way? Am I the individual that believes that everything is working for me and trust that life has my back every step of the way? Where this question is powerful If you've watched some of my training, you have probably heard me talk about how our nervous system, our brain, our bodies are essentially wired, conditioned for protection and not possibilities. And so when you ask this question and you feel a sense of expansion, a sense of trust, you'll see the word trust comes back, like where trust is such a fundamental part of success. Trusting your gifts, trusting yourself, trusting life, trusting your clients, trusting that there's more than enough. So this question, if you feel a sense of contraction, if you feel like, I don't believe that everything is working for me, I don't trust that life's got my back, then you know that you're still operating from surviving and survival mode rather than thriving mode. And that's something that needs to shift, because you cannot ever create a thriving reality from a place of surviving. Just like you can't create expansion from contraction or success from scarcity. Essentially, where you're at and what you feel as you're taking action is what you create more of. And the thing I use to talk about this is that you can't, a dog's never going to give birth to kittens. You can't plant an apple tree seed and expect oranges in the end. The seed, and this is something I learned from my own mentor, the seed always begets the fruit. So if within you, you are moving and operating from a seed of contraction, a seed of scarcity, a seed of a lack of trust, a seed of protection, you are not in possibilities, and you won't be able to create the expansion that is possible for you. So that's question 4. Am I the individual that believes everything is working for me and trust that life has my back every step of the way? So now I'm going to give you question 5. I almost didn't put this one in. I feel like the first 4 questions could literally apply to anybody, regardless of where you're at in your life. This question 5 is very much for entrepreneurs, for business owners. Am I the individual that believes that what I sell is sacred service? That what I sell is the answer to my people's prayers? This is about really trusting the value, the uniqueness of your work and how you deliver it. Let me repeat the question. Am I the individual that believes that what I sell is sacred service and is the answer to my people's prayers? When you believe that what you are doing in the world, that selling and getting people to experience your body of work is literally sacred, it's service, it is sacred service, then you will feel significantly more comfortable putting yourself out there. You feel comfortable reaching out to people. You will feel comfortable doing what you need to do as the ambassador and the steward of your gifts and of your work. You will be comfortable doing what you need to do so that your work gets out in the world and has the biggest impact it can have. So am I the individual, bonus question number 5, that believes that what I sell, what I do, what I offer is sacred service and is the answer to people's prayers? And specifically to my people's prayers, because it's not always the answer to everybody's prayers, but those who are meant to work with me, it's the answer to their prayers. And so until you answer these 5 questions with an unwavering yes, and you can feel that yes, like land in your body, like grounded, rooted, centered, knowing, unwavering in this yes, peaceful, alive, spacious, in this yes. Until you can do that, your body and your reality will keep saying no to the results you want. Your body will block you because it doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel ready, it doesn't feel like it's good enough, it doesn't feel like you're deserving, it doesn't feel like what you're doing is good enough, whatever it may be. And then your reality, and this is the spiritual nerd in me, your reality is always a ripple, a happy or unhappy ripple of your own capacity, your own neurocircuitry, your own sense of being. So that is the power of expanding your nervous system for greater capacity, shifting your body, recalibrating your body towards self-belief and self-trust and trust of life, feeling safe with life. And then also training your brain to be anchored in infinite possibilities. When your body, when your mind, your identity, your energy are calibrated to the life, to the business, to the wealth that you desire, when what you desire feels normal, feels natural, feels expected, that's when you start to create magic. That's when you start to really receive, see, experience a deeply nourishing reality. So if you're interested in going deeper with this work, then please check the description of this training. I would love to do some of this deep rewiring, transformative work with you and transform the entire trajectory of your life, of your business, of your relationship to money from the inside out. All right. See you next time.